Hello friends, imagine waking up on a normal morning, getting ready for work just like you have done for years. You grab your keys, say goodbye to your family, and head out the door, expecting another ordinary day. Then your phone rings. Your employer tells you there may be a problem with your work authorization. In just a few seconds, everything changes. Your job, your income, and your family's future suddenly feel uncertain. For hundreds of thousands of people living and working legally in the United States under temporary protected status, this is not just a hypothetical situation. It is a very real concern, and it is unfolding right now. But here is what most people still do not realize. Just before several work permits were set to expire again, the Trump administration issued another short-term extension for certain temporary protected status holders. And this is not the first time this has happened this month. It is actually the third short extension in a row, which tells you something important on its own. The government is not offering long-term stability right now. It is buying a little time, again and again, while the courts work through a major legal fight. If you or someone in your family has temporary protected status, this update could directly affect your ability to continue working legally in the United States. Even if you are not personally affected, employers, businesses, schools, hospitals, and local communities may all feel the impact of these changes. Temporary protected status, commonly known as TPS, is a humanitarian immigration program created by Congress. It allows eligible nationals of certain countries experiencing armed conflict, natural disasters, or other extraordinary conditions to remain temporarily in the United States. During that period, many receive employment authorization so they can legally support themselves and their families. Right now, TPS covers roughly 1.3 million people from 17 different countries. Over the years, hundreds of thousands of people have built their lives around these protections. They have started businesses, raised children, purchased homes, paid taxes, and contributed to their communities. Many work in healthcare, construction, hospitality, transportation, agriculture, manufacturing, education, and other industries that depend on experienced employees. Now many of those workers are once again facing uncertainty, and this time, there is a specific court decision driving it. On June 25, 2026, the United States Supreme Court ruled, by a 6-3 vote, in a case called Mullen v. Doe, that the Trump administration could move forward with ending temporary protected status for Haiti and Syria, even while related lawsuits continue in lower courts. This ruling directly affects around 350,000 Haitians and about 6,000 Syrians. But its influence goes further than just those two countries. That distinction is extremely important. The Supreme Court's decision did not immediately end TPS for Myanmar, Ethiopia, Somalia, South Sudan, or Yemen. Those 5 countries are tied up in their own separate lawsuits in lower courts. But because the Supreme Court's ruling makes it much harder for immigrants to legally challenge these terminations, it is expected to influence how those other cases are decided too. That is exactly why USCIS extended work permits for all 7 countries together, not just Haiti and Syria. According to the latest guidance, work authorization for Burma, Ethiopia, Somalia, South Sudan, and Yemen has been extended through July 17, while Haitian work permits have been extended through July 24. Government officials have described these extensions as limited relief, meant only to provide time while lower courts issue decisions that align with the Supreme Court's ruling. This is where many people make a mistake. They hear the word extension and assume everything has been resolved. It has not. A short-term extension does not mean the future of temporary protected status has been secured. It simply means that, for now, eligible workers covered by the government's announcement may continue using their employment authorization during this limited window. and that window is closing fast. For Haiti and Syria specifically, the underlying district court cases are expected to see decisions around July 27, 2026, just days after the current work permits expire. If those courts rule in line with the Supreme Court, TPS could end for those two countries very soon after that date. For many families, this creates understandable uncertainty. One announcement can provide temporary relief, while a court decision only weeks or even days later can change the situation completely. That is exactly why staying informed has become so important. For workers, the biggest question is simple. Can you continue working legally? If your employment authorization is covered under this temporary extension, the answer is currently yes, but only if you meet the eligibility requirements described in the official government guidance, and only until your specific extension date arrives. Employers must continue following federal employment verification rules, including Form I-9 and E-Verify requirements, and many human resources departments are now updating expiration dates in their records to stay compliant. Most workers do not realize how important these administrative details can become. Sometimes the biggest problems do not happen because someone intentionally violated immigration law. They happen because paperwork was misunderstood, expiration dates were misread, or employers were unaware that a new extension had been announced only days before the previous one expired. That is why communication matters. If you have temporary protected status, review your employment authorization document carefully. Check the latest guidance issued by USCIS and the Department of Homeland Security for your specific country. If your employer requests updated documentation, respond as quickly as possible and keep copies of every official notice for your records. This is not about creating fear. It is about avoiding unnecessary confusion that could interrupt your ability to work. Timing also plays a critical role here. These announcements keep landing only days, sometimes only hours, before permits are set to expire. Thousands of workers and employers were preparing for expiring work permits when this latest extension was announced. That left many businesses rushing to confirm exactly who qualified, how long the new extension would last, and what steps they needed to take to remain compliant with federal law. Imagine managing hundreds of employees across multiple locations. A single change to an expiration date may require human resources staff to update records, complete employment verification reviews, and communicate with workers before payroll deadlines arrive. For employees, the pressure can feel even greater. Your paycheck may depend on whether your employer correctly understands the latest federal guidance. Your family's financial security may depend on paperwork being updated correctly. Your future plans may depend on legal decisions that are still making their way through the federal court system, sometimes just days away. This is not just about immigration paperwork. It is about parents wondering how they will pay next month's rent. It is about children depending on a steady paycheck. It is about employers hoping they do not lose experienced workers overnight. That is why this ruling matters far beyond immigration offices in Washington. And the story is not over yet. If the lower courts issue decisions consistent with the Supreme Court's ruling, these temporary work authorization extensions could be the last ones before temporary protected status genuinely ends for some of these countries. Immigration attorneys continue encouraging temporary protected status holders to monitor official government announcements closely, rather than assuming another extension will automatically follow. That may be the most important lesson of all. Immigration policy can change quickly. Court decisions can reshape existing programs within days. Government guidance can be updated with almost no notice. Preparation is always better than reacting at the last minute. As this situation continues to develop, pay close attention to official announcements from USCIS and the Department of Homeland Security before making important decisions about your employment, travel, or immigration status. Before we finish, here is a quick recap. The Supreme Court's June 25 ruling in Mullen v. Doe cleared the way for the Trump administration to end temporary protected status for Haiti and Syria, and it is expected to influence pending cases for Myanmar, Ethiopia, Somalia, South Sudan, and Yemen as well. In response, work authorization for Myanmar, Ethiopia, Somalia, South Sudan, and Yemen has been extended through July 17, and for Haiti through July 24, marking the third short-term extension issued this month alone. Lower court decisions for Haiti and Syria are expected around July 27, which could determine whether temporary protected status ends for those countries very soon after. These extensions provide short-term relief only. They do not permanently protect temporary protected status, and additional court decisions in the days ahead could change the situation again for all 7 countries. If this update helped you understand what is really happening right now, share this video with friends, co-workers, and family members who may be affected. Staying informed today could prevent serious problems tomorrow. Subscribe for accurate immigration updates explained in simple language, and always verify important immigration information through official USCIS and DHS sources before making decisions about your work authorization, your travel plans, or your future in the United States. Thank you for watching, stay informed, stay prepared, and I will see you in the next update.